In the spiritual video, she doesn't talk about her faith, but that's a very spiritual experience. And there are things that we can do. You realize you have all the money, all the people, all the opportunity in your church, in your community right now to make a difference as sizable as that. That's what a life of stewardship looks like. I worked with a guy named Alan Gotthard, and he was a wealth manager, and he wrote a book called The Eternity Portfolio. And this was probably 10, 12 years ago. And this idea that, there was a point in time for his clients where he realized that they didn't need to make more money because they had such a tremendous amount of wealth that it wasn't about income anymore. It was about what to do with the excess. And so he came up with this idea of, what if we planned our generosity and our stewardship in the same way that we do financial planning? What if we set a limit and said, we're not going to live, no matter how much we make, this is all that we're going to need, and we're going to take the rest of that and we're going to have a plan for that. And he actually contends that you have to do that cognitively, intentionally. Otherwise it won't ever happen. It won't ever come to be. But what if we began to see our lives as true an investment portfolio, that we are in fact a mutual fund, if you will, and that we have the opportunity to allocate our time, talent, treasure, temple, and testimony in ways that could make a significant difference. And the same thing goes for our churches and the communities in which we serve. Stewardship is also something that I think speaks to the lifeblood of the church. And I know this kind of looks like it's not a very probably familiar diagram, but if you can think about how much it impacts, this is the life cycle. So somebody comes in, this life cycle of engagement with your church. So somebody comes into the front door, raises their hand, wants to be part of your church because of an event or for whatever reason, and that's what we call an acquisition, or somebody coming through the door. And then we go through the connection process. And that connection is understanding who they are and their particular gifts and their particular skills and how they can be deployed through the church to make an impact on the community. And then this cultivation phase, right? This is the part where we've made an investment in them, and then they multiply leaders and they multiply opportunity and they bring their dollars and they're actively engaged in what's happening. And then for whatever reason, because of death or because of movement or from whatever, they leave the church, and we learn and evaluate that. And if you can kind of look at this, the better we can steward the people that are coming through our door, the greater opportunity that we're going to have to do more exciting things in the life of our church and in our community. If you want to solve a stewardship, a funding problem, you start here. You start at how are you connecting people with the values of your church? How are you connecting people and telling them about what's important to you? How are you inviting them to become part of the movement that is your church? As we do that explicitly, as we do that carefully, people will be challenged and they will be drawn to that and they will respond to that. And our ability to find the unique gifts that each person that comes through our door has and put them in a situation where they can actually use those gifts, that will continue to grow. As you have spiritual experiences, you continue to grow, right? And that's what we want to do. And that's what stewardship is all about, is about growth. And providing those opportunities for people to discover things about themselves, things that they've been blessed with, and the opportunities around them that they didn't know before. Connect those dots and move them along that spectrum from everything is mine to possess to everything is God's. And these are assets to be invested in the kingdom. I think we have to begin to see stewardship as a ministry of giving. Not just something that we do when we have an annual pledge drive or something that we do when we have a capital campaign. It's something that literally can transform the culture of your church. I want us to watch another video, and this one is about a spiritual experience, about someone who was challenged to give more than what he thought was possible and to do something right within his own sphere of influence, and it changed his life.